Hey y'all, how's everyone doing? Well, I just needed to do my eye makeup today, and I thought, why not do it with y'all? I'd already done my base. Excuse me, I just choked and I had to go off camera because I ate some nuts, and it never fails when I eat nuts. I just did a handful of almonds, cashews. I could not find any more of the Brazil nuts from that package that I showed you. I'm just going to try to go find packages of Brazil nuts. They're a great fatty nut. They're super good for you, but I'm sure you don't want to eat a lot of them. They're probably high carb at some point. Anyway, you can still hear it. Whenever I eat nuts, it always seems to be a residual unless I wash it down real good. You know, because you can chop it up in their little pieces. So the question is, am I able now? So I was going to do my eyes, and I thought I really should use this palette again because, you know, I've gotten in the habit of using these palettes like once and kind of being a one and done, and you shouldn't do that with expensive palettes. You should show them over and over. Excuse me, y'all. In case somebody wants to know, is it really worth the money? Because this is simply a cool palette. Eyeshadow palette, and it's called 5 Couleurs Couture. If that was in French, that 5 would be 5 Couleurs Couture. Only they'd say it much more fluidly. But this is $5.99 new look, number 599 new look, and it's just cool tone browns. Obviously, this is a black brown. This, even in the middle, that's a deep burgundy brown. This is a taupe brown. That's kind of a little warmer over here, this transition color, and it has a stronger shimmer, which typically that's not where I like to have, excuse me, a shimmer, because I don't want it right here, because as you get older, this little area on the inside right here pooches. And, you know, I don't know if it's muscles, glands, or skin, but it pooches. It's not just skin. There's something about it. It's almost like when your eye is got an allergy reaction. Excuse me, y'all. I'm hoping I don't choke again. So let me just clear my throat. Swallow some more coffee. Look, it's a blue jay. I love blue jays. You know, I did not know that blue jays are exclusively to the southeastern part of the United States. They're brown jays up north. So now I realize that's really a treat when you see one. He's got a little oak branch that has acorns. Do you see little acorns? And a little oak leaf with acorns and a caterpillar. Oh, and it's the kind I like. Those are the ones that they change into the yellow and black and white swallowtails. Yellow swallowtails. So, anyway. Also got my hair done. When I say hair done, I got layers cut so you can see them. She didn't style it quite how I would, so it's looking a little pin-headed up here. I would want more of the volume out here. But I do like the layers. I think she did a good job. And most people don't do layers. Do you know why? Because only an older hairdresser will even know how to do that, because they haven't done it for so many years. That when I talk to the younger ones, I'm like, do you do you do feathering? And they just look at me and I'm like layering. And so they do, they like almost taper. That's not what that is. You need the layers throughout the hair. And so that's what feathering is, to where you literally could flip it back and it is like a feather. And that's from many generations ago, but I like it. So there. So let's do my eyes, shall we? We'll use the compact. It's pretty compact. It's not the one I like. They had a blue one. They've gone to black silver, and that is just so, it's very elegant, very pretty, but it's just typical. Everybody does black, and they usually choose silver. So I was kind of surprised that they went from their kind of signature, like, blue. I thought that was really, really pretty. And what am I going to do for this? To put on this champagne color, I'm going to use this right here. And really load up the brush and get right under the brow with that. And just kind of really blend it in. It's just, okay, this is what I was discovering the other day. It is just, I had highlighter from doing my cheeks that I always put right under my brow, and that is even more highlighting than this. And this has got shimmers to it, so I don't understand. I really don't. And I'm using the right brush. I'm kind of packing it and pushing it in, and it really should be stronger than it is. And as I blend it, it almost gets worse. I don't know. Okay, that looked better. This done. Again, that's my scar. And one of y'all told me, you know, scar tissue doesn't take to makeup well, which I did not know that. So thank you for telling me that. But yeah, I fell down, cut my head right there. Also cut my head right there. I've cut my head a lot. I fell down a lot as a child. I wasn't watching where I was going. And I played hard, man. Back in the day, you played outside a lot. How many of y'all remember that? It's nothing like kids now. Now I only see kids playing outside if they're being athletic. Like, meaning they're on a team. Not, and I don't really see the moms having them go out, that's a shame. And I think that's a bad parenting move. I think the moms need to do that. Now, obviously, if you're a working mom, you can't, but whoever is caring for your kids, you need to check and make sure that they have a program to give your kids exercise, if that's where you're dropping them off. You have a right to do that as a mother, is to say, you know, I want to make sure my child gets, you know, exercise during the day, not just sitting. Sitting is not good. What was I told as an admin? Sitting is the new smoking. That's how unhealthy it is to just sit all day. Okay, so I'm now going in this other color right here. You know what? I know it probably, I had it upside down. I should have gone there. I've gone to this dark taupe. So what am I going to do with that now? Because I've loaded the brush. It's expensive. I'll just stay real low. Yeah, because that's real dark. That's not a transition color, actually. I'm just going to go right, stay low. Yeah. And I am going to kind of do a dark lid instead of a light lid. Right in the middle, I might put a little. But to me, once you do the darker color on a lid, you can't really highlight the lid because that kind of destroys the purpose. Yeah, I just boo-booed is all this is. But this is, you know, a real life. Let's do boo-boo. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the lid. Because you don't want to have like a white lid unless you're going to have a dark color in the crease and then blend upward. This is going to be too dark and so in the crease. So I'm just going to bring it on down to the lid. That also helps with eyelashes, by the way. It makes them look darker. Alright, so I'm going to flip this same brush, but I'm going to use this other lighter color and go right above that and right below the highlight. That's a much more transitioning color. Oh, yes. See how that makes that transition much nicer? Yeah. Yeah, much. It almost has a green hue, y'all, like an olive or treasure green. Do you know what I mean? Like a brushed green. Golden green. Maybe that's because of the color below it is. Okay. Alright. I think that'll do. Okay. Now, we'll need to do some blending for sure. That's way off. Okay. So let's blend. Because that's now too much of anything. And we'll blend backwards here. And rather than add any other color, we're just going to blend this out real good. There we go. And it's a little too far in as well, so we're going to just kind of use my fingers and get out my makeup cloth. Always remember, keep your little makeup cloth that you need to wipe, whatever you need to wipe, the brush, your fingers. And I'm going to dab out this brush a little bit. And what I do, y'all, just so you know, is I just do it in a little circle like that, and that just knocks off some of the color because I'm trying to blend with no color at all at this point. So let's just get that. Let's get that. And as soon as you brush it, you've got some on your brush, so you don't want to stay in that place any longer. You're just blending more color in. That's a nice blend out. Okay. I would say this actually ends up, to me, looking more warm. It is not a cool palette when you actually apply it. And maybe it's because of that. That taupe is not a taupe gray. That is more of a taupe green. It just doesn't look like it. It doesn't, does it? That doesn't. Interesting. Okay. I can stare at it with you, and we can just sit here and stare at it together if y'all want. Now I'm looking for my little smudge brusher, my little short shader from Sigma. One of my favorite brushes. Short shaders are... or some people call them smudge brushes versus the pencil brush. Now let me show you the difference. This is a pencil brush. I use this one for inner highlight. That's why it's white. And I also have a dark one. Okay, I think that's in the other room. But anyway, there is a difference. See how they both look skinny? But when you turn this one sideways, it's wide. Do you see? This can be used to smudge horizontally like that and on the lid when you've got a line, or you can turn it this way and get, you know, like you would this one. That's why I would just go ahead and save your pencil brush for that. Like an inner highlight color, or right under the brow highlight color. I say this to almost line with. It's like having a liner brush, only it's a little thicker. There's a liner brush that I can show you what I mean. Like, see how that's liner, but it's very tiny. I need a little thicker than that. Can you see that? So I turn it from that way to that way, and I go into the lashes with it. Same thing here. This is a liner brush, and see how that's angled, but when you go that way, it's super thin. That's a little thicker, and then that's a little thicker. And I like to go with the thickest, but still very compact brushes. And that's what this one does. So, what am I going to do? I can either take this burgundy or this dark. I'm going to go with the dark because we haven't tried it yet. Tap it off real good. These are very good for lining, so I'm going to line, I'll go straight through the lashes, like this. And as you probably saw, I had already used a crayon liner. And then I'm just going to kind of stamp right at the lash line. And that just reinforces it so that it looks a little darker there. Again, go straight through the lashes, not under them, straight through them. And what this does is kind of gets that fleshy tone from showing. And again, any leftovers, I'm just going to use to stamp right in the lashes. Or I may support the arch with it. See that? Just to kind of build that arch color. There we go. Or the front of the brow, whatever needs some.